I'm looking at the name of this Reddit that it was posted in. The cum box was called Reddit's Museum of Filth, and I'm looking around at some of these things, and I need to link a couple of them to you. Let me
from the Museum of Filth there. Okay. All right.
All right. Here's a link that, and then I'll read this. It'll be fun. All right. This is something from the Museum of Filth, and it was linked there from some question of what's the most self-inflicted sexual injury you've encountered, that kind of thing. So
this is gonna be good.
Not exactly sexual, but when we had gynecology and obstetrics in med school, we got this girl in from the psychiatric ward. The reason she got referred to gynecology is that she was smelly. Yep, really. So we didn't quite understand the referral until we got in the room and met the patient. The patient is a skinny young girl with the foulest necrosis-like odor I've ever smelt. It was literally so bad, half of us had to leave the room. The paramedics also commented that they had to roll down the windows when driving her there. According to the paramedics had to roll down the windows. They'll like pick up people's colons that get shot out by a biker who was just wearing shorts and then throw it in the back with shit. They're rolling down the windows. According to the referral, the smell had been there for several weeks, and they tried everything, including forcing her to shower to make it end, and now they sent her to rule out gynecological issues. Well, what we found when we put her in the stirrups was that this girl had anorexia, and as a means of hiding her uneaten food from the hospital staff, guess where she'd been putting her chewed-up pieces of food? Yep, she, of course, told us she had never put anything up there. Well, either there's a disease that makes potatoes grow in your vagina, or she was lying. We dug out tons of literally rotten meat from this girl's vaginal cavity. Some of it had been there for so long. We put her on antibiotics for the terrible infection she of course had. Hospital food where I went to school isn't great in general, and it didn't help to let it ferment for a few weeks in an acidic environment full of bacteria. I will never forget that smell. To make you understand how bad it was, let me just say that the vagina of any anorexic is not a happy place to begin with, as they are very prone to nasty fungal infections. Here, empiric treatment for both fungal and bacterial infections, seeing as we had trouble differentiating the more rotten food from her own necrotic vaginal tissue. So mix the smell of necrosis, rotting food, severely unclean crotch with a nice hint of infection to top it off. At this point in school, we had sat through countless hours of smelly surgeries, autopsies, treating homeless people in the ER, and I've never seen any of my fellow students react physically to any smell. Half of the people immediately had to leave the room, and some of us who stayed had to vomit.
Dear
so there you go.
God.
Can you imagine being so mentally ill that you hide like ham hocks and crab rangoons in your pussy?
No, I've heard all kinds of stories like that. Like Benji from the Stern Show talks about hooking up with this chick at the AVN Awards and like fingering her and finding a plastic baggie of drugs and pulling it out and being like, "There's drugs here," and she was like, "Ah, shit, I forgot I had those there." Like I've heard of porn stars putting, if you're familiar with like a makeup kit, the little squishy thing that the makeup applicator, that little pad thing. I've heard of them shoving that in their vagina to like hold back a period, and then having sex for the porno.
The tiny wedge thing.
They make circular ones. They're like a puck, and they're very dense and squishy. And the chick had shoved one of those up there to stop her period, and then forgotten about it. And so it's just soaked in blood and rotten up in there. And I heard the smell of that was disgusting. But what you are describing, sir, is a clogged food processor full of rotten hospital food and pussy.
I feel like you guys are looking at this through a very narrow lens. Like, okay, I will grant you that she had some, necrotic pussy tissue and a little bit of rotting meat and potatoes. But she was anorexic, which means outside of that, she was probably pretty hot.
I mean, maybe she looked good.
Yeah. I mean, if you could get over the smell. Well, I mean, we all have different priorities.
Oh my goodness.
I think if you fucked her in the ass, it's unlikely to be much of a mess there. She doesn't eat.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm a problem solver.
No. Well, I've got... That was really gross. I've got something way, way better here. But first, Kyle, do you have anything you want to tell us about?
Well, I'm a little sickened. To be frank, I don't know if I can talk about Stitch Fix.
Oh, we're about to go a little deeper, my friend. This is a fun Reddit. I'm going to poke around.
I think I'm better at picturing things in my mind than the average person because I'm really getting some awful mental images of this rotten vagina.
You're still on that, huh? See, I just breezed right through. I don't mind.
Have you ever like left like a bag of potatoes that has like 3 or 4 potatoes left in it, like on a rack or in a shelf?
Like some spuds start growing out and like spurts.
They turn black and black liquid comes out of them and it smells like death. I'm imagining that in her vagina.
Well, that's what it was.
I wonder,
it was that, and like they even said in there that it was so bad that when they're removing stuff, they're like pulling on it. They're like, "Goddamn piece of roast beef," and they're like, "Oh no, that's just rotted vaginal tissue." Okay, leave it there.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, what was the aftermath? They need a water pick.
Yeah, you need like a hydrosonic water pick or something to get that out. See, that was a little gross. I'm glad it grossed Kyle out so much. Honestly, like stories like that, I would rather read about that than see somebody eat a booger. That grosses me out. Watching people eat boogers is disgusting to me.
What if you poured a bottle of hydrogen peroxide in the vagina?
Oh, she'd be like one of those, 5th grade experiments where she just erupted,
Yeah.
Well, this won't be nearly as brutal, Kyle. I'll link this one to you. So the title of this
Pretty rough stuff, man.
is so this guy.
Did he shoot off his penis?
He shot his penis off on purpose.
Ooh, I can't show these pictures, but I'm looking at them.
He posted, "What are some ways I could sever the stump of my penis?" in like a morbid questions thing, and he deleted that. But here, it says, here's like the little bit of the post. It says, I shot off roughly 90% of my cock and have a stump left. I'm looking for ways to try to remove it. 1, band it up, then shoot it off. 2, penis guillotine, in parentheses, not sure if there's enough left. 3, try to slice it off, least desirable option. Dip it in liquid nitrogen and smash it. Says this anti-penis Bill Nye. Who's gonna fucking dip it in liquid nitrogen, you goddamn degenerate. Comment from OP. Yes, I shot it 4 times with a revolver. Think about that. You shot your own cock.
That's
and
just
then you
start.
do it three more times. Just bang, bang, bang. Yes, I shot it 4 times with a revolver, cooked it on the stove right after, and then ate it. No, the bullets go through very cleanly through the skin. I shot it 4 times in a straight line across in order to sever it. And then here are the 3 pictures. If you guys want to find this on Reddit, just look up the shot off penis stump, and it looks like I don't even know what to say. This looks like. It looks like just a nutsack with a hole in the middle.
It kind of looks like an asshole
balls.
where the penis goes.
It looks a little bit like an asshole. It's good to see this guy still cares enough about the region to shave part of this whatever fucking thing it is. Why bother shaving? Whatever. Nobody's going to see it. This is insane. And then he has a picture of it banded up where he just ties a rubber band around his penis stump and is trying to let it die, I guess. The questions for him were, why did you shoot your cock? How did you react immediately after? And what the fuck? I shot it off for God. God wasn't having it. God said, I don't like that dick. Shoot it off. So he did, I guess. Immediately after, I cooked it a little and ate it. Then I laid on the ground and listened to music before calling an ambulance. God is crucifying me. I was supposed to chop off my balls too and die. I chopped off my nuts 2 months ago. Now I have to chop off the rest of the stump and bleed out. The bullets tore through it. It's a fleshy cock. It doesn't stand a chance against a .38 special revolver. No seasoning, just olive oil. I need to remove it to bleed to death in order to complete a blood sacrifice to God. Right now, shooting it again is my best bet. Well, at least he's going to heaven.
Man, like you read stuff like this and you realize that we're so ignorant as to just how crazy some of the people around us are, because this is 5 levels above the crazy we normally deal with. Like the people that you'd be like, oh yeah, he's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look at him. Look at him over there. He's crazy. Look, he shaved that silly thing into his hair, and look, he's got this piercing and that piercing. He split his tongue. Can you believe he split his tongue?
This guy's insane. He wears one of those bikinis for guys, right? Like, who wears a Speedo?
He smokes meth casually. It's absurd. He's insane. Really? Did he shoot his penis off to blood sacrifice himself to the Lord? Nah. Did he eat the severed cock and then plan to do more amputations because, God? No, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is grotesque. Like that's an insane level of mental illness. Think about that. You think God is telling you to shoot your dick off, and so you do it, and then you in a blasé way talk about it on Reddit like, yeah, I shot it off. It was just fleshy. God told me to do it. Olive oil, no seasoning. It was decent. It's a fucking crazy person.
Dude ate his dick.
I wonder if these people know, if people in this guy's life know how crazy he is that he shot his dick off, or if he's just an unassuming I was told that I would not have to move my office again. I was told.
Do you think that in every other way this guy's normal? There's no chance of that. This guy is a nutcase in lots of areas.
Yeah. Come on down to Stubby's, get your used car. Whatever he actually does.
On the bright side, now that I've sacrificed my
if you beat my deal, I'll shoot my cock off. In retrospect, shouldn't have put that in writing.
On the bright side, I don't have that compulsion to use the cum box anymore. That's all done.
It's the same guy. This was God's punishment for my cum box. 20 years.
Waste not, want not.
Waste not, want. Oh man, this is a really fucked up subreddit. I like this. I can't believe that I haven't heard of this before.
Now
it's called Museum of Filth. Reddit's Museum of Filth.